Hi guys, welcome to English with Em. I'm Em. In this lesson, you're going to learn all about the position of adverbs, where they go, and how the position can change the focus or tone of the sentence. This is an area where even advanced learners make mistakes, and I'm going to show you some of the most common ones so you can avoid them. Let's get started. Adverbs tell us how, where, when, how often, and to what degree something happens, and they are also used to express opinion. Adverbs modify verbs. He drives carefully. Here, the adverb carefully tells us how he drives. Adjectives. You're very clever. The adverb very tells us to what degree or extent you are clever. Other adverbs. She goes out quite often. Here, the adverb quite tells us how often. And whole sentences. Happily, we won the match. So here, happily tells you how I feel about this situation. Now we're going to take a look at different types of adverb and where they are placed in the sentence, starting with adverbs of manner. These tell us how something was done. I opened the door. How did I open the door? I opened the door slowly. Now, this is the usual position. The adverb goes after the verb. But we can say, I slowly opened the door. And when we place the adverb first, there's more emphasis placed on it, which is fairly standard. You know, the most important information in a sentence often comes at the beginning. We can also say, slowly I opened the door. Now this is quite formal and descriptive. It's used for extra emphasis, often in writing and storytelling. Now, an important point here is that some adverbs can only go after the verb. These include fast, well, badly, and hard. So, he ran fast, not he fast ran. She did well in the exam, not she well did in the exam. You could say fast he ran, but you'll sound very much like Yoda, so it's not a natural way to speak. Now let's look at adverbs of time. These tell us when something is done, and they usually appear at the end. I'm busy today. Let's meet for lunch tomorrow. I had 3 meetings yesterday. We can put it at the beginning and say, today I'm busy. And here we're emphasizing the adverb. So as mentioned earlier, when the adverb comes to the front, there is usually extra emphasis going on here. Next up, we have place. So these adverbs tell us where something happens, and they usually appear at the end. I work there. Come here. There's a car park ahead. There was a pool outside. Now, you might sometimes see these in front position as well. Ahead, there's a car park. Outside, there was a pool. This is quite common in writing, but it's less common in spoken English, with a couple of exceptions, and those are here and there. Here comes John. There's the bank. Now, something important to note here is that when here and there are followed by a noun like this, then we need to use inversion. So we don't say, here John comes. There the bank is. No, we have to invert. So that means that we switch the position of the verb and the noun. Take a look at these next 2 sentences. Here he comes. There it is. What do you think? Does this work? Yes, it does. So when we have a pronoun instead of a noun, it's perfectly correct and no inversion is necessary. Now let's take a look at frequency adverbs. So these tell us how often something happens, and they usually go before the main verb, but after the verb to be. I often travel by train. So the adverb often is before the main verb travel. We occasionally go to the cinema. The adverb occasionally, which means sometimes or not very often, appears before the main verb go. Let's see a couple of examples with the verb to be. He is rarely late. So we don't say he rarely is late. He is rarely late. I am always cold. This is true. I am always cold, not I always am cold. Now, some of these adverbs can be used in front position. Sometimes he's late. Occasionally, we take the bus. Usually, we start on time. If you start with usually, it is normally followed by a comma, mainly because there is actually a breath at that point. So listen, occasionally we take the bus. It flows in one long breath. Usually, we start on time. Usually, we start on time. And why do you think we might place the adverb at the beginning of the sentence? That's right, because we want to emphasize it. But they are less common in this position. What do you think of this sentence? Always he says that. Is this correct? No. So this is an important point and a mistake that I see a lot. Always is not used at the beginning. Now, all of these adverbs are positive, but what happens with negative adverbs? Let's see a couple of example sentences. Never have I been there. Rarely do they visit. What is going on here? Well, as always, when the adverb is at the front of the sentence, we are emphasizing it. And with negative adverbs, inversion is necessary. Inversion basically is question form. So, have I been there? Never have I been there. Do they visit? Rarely do they visit. I'm not going to get too much into inversion in this video, but if you'd like to see a complete tutorial, I do have a video dedicated just to this topic. So inversion after negative adverbials, I'll pop the link in the description. Check it out. So that's front position, but what about end position? He's late sometimes. We take the bus occasionally. We start on time usually. So this is quite common in conversation. You don't see it as much in formal or written English. And just like with front position, always is not usually used at the end. So he says that always. No. And negative adverbs are also not usually used at the end. You might come across it in poetry, but not in normal speech, normal everyday contexts. Now let's take a look at some adverbial phrases. So these usually go at the end, but can also be at the beginning. I go swimming every Saturday. This is the most common, most natural placement, but you will also hear every Saturday I go swimming. And here there's a little bit more emphasis on the adverbial phrase. What about this? I every Saturday go swimming. No, we do not place adverbial phrases in mid-position, usually. And some more examples of adverbial phrases. Once a week, or once a month, once a year, or twice a day, that's 2 times, twice a week, etc. Every other day or every other week. But every other means every second. So every other day, every 2 days, every other week, every 2 weeks. Now we're going to take a look at adverbs of degree. These tell us to what extent something is true. They usually go before the word that they modify. So I really like this. Here, the adverb really modifies the verb like. It tells you to what extent I like this. That film is too long. So too is modifying the adjective long. How long? Too long. She's quite well educated. So here, quite modifies the adverb well. It tells us how well educated she is, to what extent. That was extremely interesting. To what degree was that interesting? And here we're modifying the adjective. Extremely. There is an exception, and that is a lot. I like this a lot. And here, a lot means very much, to a great extent. So this is correct with the position at the end. I like a lot this. What do you think? No. So this is a very common mistake, but a lot goes at the end. What about this? I like this a lot of. No, also incorrect. A lot and a lot of are not the same. A lot of is a quantifier. It is used before a noun to describe quantity. For example, I have a lot of books, a large number of books. I'm enjoying my current book a lot, very much. Now let's move on to our final section, adverbs of opinion, starting with certainty and likelihood. Maybe we should start again. Perhaps they'll call first. Maybe and perhaps go in the front position, always at the beginning of the sentence. We definitely have time. You're probably right. So with definitely and probably, usually before a main verb, we definitely have, or after the verb to be. You are probably. So just like with frequency adverbs. Now, we often use definitely and probably with will. She will probably be late. He will definitely join us. We will definitely not have time. So here it goes after will, after the auxiliary verb. But an important point to note here is that when we use a negative contraction, then definitely or probably go before the auxiliary. So you probably won't like it. If we're not contracting, then you would say you will probably not like it. But with the contracted form, you probably won't like it. The same thing would happen with other auxiliary verbs in a negative form. So he probably didn't know, or he definitely didn't think that would happen. So worth bearing in mind. Now we're going to look at evaluation and judgment. And a quick point, in British English, judgment is spelled with an E, while in North American English, there is no E. So, quite rightly, he apologised. Quite rightly, this is an expression that means I think it was the correct thing to do. Quite rightly. So I'm expressing my opinion and I'm judging his behaviour, his action. Foolishly, I didn't think it through. Wisely, he said nothing. Bravely, she stood up to the bullies. So when we use these adverbs at the front of the sentence, we're evaluating the whole situation, expressing a judgment on what happened. I didn't think it through. That was foolish of me, wasn't it? That was silly. Foolishly, I didn't think it through. He said nothing. I think that was wise of him. And she stood up to the bullies. That was brave. So bravely, she stood up to the bullies. We can place these adverbs in mid-position too. He quite rightly apologised. I foolishly didn't think it through. He wisely said nothing. She bravely stood up to the bullies. And when we do this, when we place the adverb directly after the subject, there's a bit more focus on the fact that we're judging the subject's actions. So it's a bit less detached, a little less objective, if you will. These adverbs can also go in end position. He apologised, quite rightly. I didn't think it through, foolishly. He said nothing, wisely. She stood up to the bullies, bravely. So here in end position, this is used in conversation, and there's less emphasis here. So if I say, I foolishly didn't think it through, then, really I feel strongly that it was foolish. While I didn't think it through foolishly is less emphatic, the adverb is more of an afterthought. The final type of opinion adverb that we're going to look at is stance. Your stance is your position on a topic. Personally, I think that's a great idea. Some people say that personally, I think is redundant or, repetitive. But while that may be true, it is very, very common and natural in English. Frankly, I don't think it will be possible. To be honest, bluntly, without holding back, genuinely, I thought it would work. Honestly, I can't agree. These are very often placed at the front of the sentence, and we're commenting on the whole sentence. So this is my stance on the situation. We can also place them in mid-position. I personally think that's a great idea. I frankly don't think it will be possible. I genuinely thought it would work. I honestly can't agree. And when we place the adverb after the subject, it is more emphatic. I personally think that's a great idea. Frankly, I frankly don't think it will be possible. Genuinely thought it would work. I honestly can't agree. So more emphasis. Well done, guys. If you found that helpful, if you learnt something, then please do give it a like, and why not subscribe for more? And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought, or pop an example sentence, or just say hi. I always love to hear from you. And I just want to say a massive thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel. If you'd like to find out more about becoming a member, then you can do so in the video description. See you in the next video.